to the Cherry Purls podcast. This is episode 73. We are a knitting and spinning podcast coming to you every other week from outside New Orleans, Louisiana. And we're a little bit late this week, but we are so happy that you're here with us today.
Yeah, we were going to podcast the other day, but Robin wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, well, I felt okay, but I was just getting over a cold and sitting in front of the light. I was blinking and my eyes were watering, so y'all didn't want to look at that.
Yeah, so we decided to wait a couple of days so she was more comfortable.
Yeah. So I am Robin.
I'm Mary.
You can find me as Teenybutton on Instagram and Ravelry. And my Etsy shop is Teenybutton Studio, where I sell hand-dyed yarn.
On Instagram, I am Cherry Purls Mary, and on Ravelry, I am Snippin' Full.
And we have a podcast group on Ravelry. It is Cherry Purls Podcast, and that's where you can find the show notes for this episode, as well as links to everything that we're going to talk about. If you want to know if you missed what yarn it was or what pattern it was, that's where you can find all the links to everything. We also have our chatter and finished objects threads. No, we don't. We have our finished objects thread for our current knit along. So would you like to tell them about that?
Sure. We are currently co-hosting a knit along, the Socks and Space KAL, with Candace of the Pin Feathers and Pearls podcast. The KAL started on November the 1st and will run through the end of the year, ending on December 31st. And to participate in our knit along, you need to knit a pair of socks that is some way related to space. We're celebrating the new release of the Star Wars movie, and so that's kind of why we're doing it. And either the pattern or the yarn needs to be space related in some way. So fandoms like Doctor Who and Firefly and video games, those all count if they're space related.
If they're set in space.
Yeah.
Somebody did Steven Universe, so that definitely counts because they're aliens.
Yeah. But talking about air, not necessarily space. Talking about atmosphere is not necessarily space.
If you have any questions, just ask one of the three of us and we'll give you a definitive answer.
We are hosting the Finished Objects thread in our group, and Candace is hosting the Chatter thread in her group. And we will be pulling for prizes in both groups. And to be eligible for prizes, you need to be a member of both podcast groups to win a prize. Mm-hmm. Did I forget anything?
Whips will not count. Your sock has to be cast on and finished between November 1st and December 31st. So
yes, end of the year.
Yeah. So I think that's it. We do have what?
Well, Candace has gotten a couple of prizes.
Oh yeah.
And are we anticipating some?
No, but I'm going to donate a skein of yarn, and we can pull from our prize bin.
Yeah, we have some prizes also to give away. So
yeah,
if anybody has a prize they'd like to donate, let us know. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do have a coupon code from designer Kath Thorley. That is going to be 20% off of her patterns using the code CherryPearls20, and it's good through March 2018. So thank you, Kath. We will continue to talk about it until it expires.
That is true.
So we have some finished objects to show you guys today.
Yes, you have actually been on a roll.
I have 3.
I have 1.
So let me actually do this one first, because circumstances have changed since we were going to record on Friday. So these are actually a new design that I published yesterday. So I figure I'll talk about them first. So this is the Forbidden Forest socks, and you can find it in my Ravelry patterns directory. What do they call it?
Your pattern page.
Pattern shop.
Your designer page.
Yeah.
It's in your Ravelry pattern shop. Yeah.
We'll link to it in the show notes. And for right now, you can get $1 off of it, making it $3 whenever you add it to your cart until the end of the year.
So is it an automatic savings, or is there a coupon code?
No coupon code, just add it to your cart. So this is what it looks like. They're called the Forbidden Forest socks. I think I already said that. The texture pattern reminded me of the little bumps, the little knees of the trees that pop up from under the ground.
Or have the roots.
The roots, yeah. And then the back of the sock, let me show you on the other sock, is a weaving rib pattern that reminds me of the shapes of the trees. So that is the back of the sock.
That. Cool.
So I was worried the texture pattern, because it's a twisted stitch, I was worried it would be too tight and be hard to get over your calf, and I know that's sometimes a problem for me. So that's why the rib is on the back. And it uses a short row heel of my own design, but you can also do a fish lips kiss or a German short row, or, the
Any kind of
Nina's
heel.
gusset or
It's a toe-up sock.
it is a toe-up sock because that's the only sock I've ever knit, and I'm not going to change anytime soon.
Well, you like to be able to use as much yarn as possible, and you're comfortable with starting at the bottom and then until you run out of yarn or it's tall enough.
It's just the way that I'm comfortable doing it. I know I could do top down because I know my stitch counts and I know how much yarn that I use, but I'm more comfortable.
It's what you know.
So, yeah. So, the yarn is Teenybutton Studio. This is my the Burrow colorway. And
based on the Weasley's cottage?
Yes, based on the Weasley's house. And that's that pretty much. I did it on a size US 1. And I've lost track, but I think this might be pair 12 for my box of socks. So I think I made it. I need to double check.
You say that every time. You do need to check.
Yeah, it's either 12 or 13. So I think I'm good. But that is my first whip.
Good for you.
Socks. I only have one sock blocker because I took this one off the other one to photograph it and was too lazy to put it back on. So that's why it's like that. So you got a finished object?
You don't want to do the next one?
I can do that
too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I have 3. Got 3. So these I showed y'all last week, but they are now finished. They are my very first mittens I ever made. And there they are.
And they are knit out of what?
This is my hand spun. I think the fiber was from Three Waters Farm, and I think it's drawing a blank. It's like really.
Did we write it on here?
No. It's the type of wool, and I'm gonna think of it as soon as we finish filming. It starts with an F or a T. Targy? No, it's not Targy.
It starts with an F?
No, maybe not. I don't know anything. I'm stupid today.
Okay.
I'll put it on the screen.
It has a halo. Does it have mohair in it?
No, it has a halo because if y'all saw the beginning of our episode, I'm going to put in some footage, it snowed.
Oh, it's because of that.
Yes. So girlfriend used these mittens in the snow. The last time it snowed here was almost 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. It was 9 years ago.
So, yeah, it was amazing. So that's why they're kind of fuzzed up because I did some major snowball throwing at Larry.
We had a good amount of snow.
It lasted a couple of days. Lasted a day or 2.
Yeah.
On the ground,
well,
yeah.
It snowed almost, I'd say a good...
6 hours?
No. I think it snowed more than that. It snowed almost 12 hours.
Oh.
Off and on. Yeah.
Yeah, because you woke me up, because we stayed up all night waiting for
the
it.
snow.
Because it's an event. It is.
Yeah. Happens the last time it happened was 9 years ago.
So at 6:30 in the morning, I was like, okay, this is stupid. I'm going to bed.
I think I woke you up.
6:45, you woke me up. You're like, it's snowing.
It's definitely snow because you kept going out. Is this snow? Is this snow?
I knew it was sleet, but like I really wanted it to be snow, and I hope by the time you got there, it would turn into snow.
And I was like, no, you gotta wait for big flakes.
Yeah.
And so 6:45, big flakes.
Yeah. So it was amazing. I took so much video.
It was fun.
If you follow me on Instagram, I had like snow spam everywhere. I made a snow knitter on the hood of my car, like a snowman with knitting. It was amazing. It was awesome. So that's why they're all fuzzed up. Because, they're a little bit felted. What is the name of that wool?
Don't know. But you know what? Put it on your project page.
I will.
Because I'm looking at it.
I didn't even put it with the.
You just put old hand spun of Robin.
Yeah, I think it's from Three Waters Farm.
Okay. If Robin remembers,
I'll put it on the screen.
You'll add it.
Yeah. So I think I did fractal spin, which is weird because I don't think whenever I spun this I was doing it intentionally, but it did that cool striping thing, which is neato. So
what is the pattern?
I was about to say that. This is the Palmistry DK pattern by Stephanie Lotvin. Had to look that up. And she also has it for fingering and for DK, and I love the thumb, the construction of the thumb. I really love that. So I highly recommend this pattern. They were free for a while, which is how I got them. But so thank you, Stephanie, for the free pattern. That was awesome. And they did qualify for the indie gift along, but I haven't actually submitted them yet because I keep forgetting. But that's my second finished object. So
and actually been in use.
It has been in use, and we actually have a question where I'm going to talk about these again at the end. So I'm going to put them up here.
Okay. I don't know what question that is.
That question.
Oh, that question. Okay,
You want to show your finished object?
Sure. Last time we podcast, I think I was working on this.
I don't remember.
If not, I finished a cowl this week. This is for our upcoming trip, and I wanted something warm around my neck. So this is I think I'm saying this correctly, Aeque, A-E-Q-U-E, patterned by Hilary Smith Kellis. And the yarn is Twisted Fiber Art, Tasty Evolution. And I didn't put the colorway, but it is on my project page.
That's my bucket list yarn.
Yeah,
I really want some of this.
Yeah, I've got 2 skeins of it. I'm kind of upset with myself that I didn't wind off a little more of the beginning because I didn't get all the way.
It's a gradient.
It's a gradient yarn,
Yeah.
and I didn't get all the way to the last color. You can see that it barely got into this color right here, and there was actually one more color. But
it's still a cool subtle effect.
Yeah. I'm happy with the cowl, and I'm happy with the color. It's just when you have a gradient, you want to be able to see all the colors. And that's, not knowing how it was going to knit up. I didn't know how far in to the next, the last, how far I would be able to get into the yarn. And I didn't want to wind off too much and then have to add the dark color on the bottom because I ran out of yarn. You know how that goes. So anyway, this is a nice pattern. It's knit flat and then it's seamed at the end. So
cool.
Here's my seam.
It looks really cool.
Yeah, so you can see where how the gradient flows there. But so you kind of wear it to where the point is a little off center. That's the way that the pattern is cowl is meant to be worn. And I'm looking forward to wearing this. Yeah. So we'll take this on our trip. Pearl was playing with it today, which didn't make me happy. She put a tiny pull in it, but we're good.
That's just decoration.
I don't know why. It had sat up there. Well, we pulled all the stuff out to record on Friday. So it's been here for 3 days, and she didn't think anything of it until about 3 hours ago, and it said something to her, and she had to respond.
Yeah. So,
go with that. So, great pattern. I enjoyed knitting it.
So, I have one more finished object, and that is my Vulpix shawl by Stephen West. Ta-da!
Oh, it looks good.
It's very long.
I like a long, shallow shawl.
It's very long, which is fine by me, and it fits around my neck quite nicely. So again, it's by Stephen West, and this is in like an intarsia panel in the center, which I was a little afraid of, but I did it.
Why were you afraid of intarsia?
I don't know. I've done intarsia before. My tension's always off, and it looks really bad, but I think this blocked out really nicely.
I think it looks great.
Yeah. So these are my colors. This is my Teenybutton Studio Silky Sock. The blue is called Would Beyond Measure, and the bronze is Man's Greatest Treasure because it's my Ravenclaw shawl. Because the bit in the center looks like a bird's wing to me. So
this looks like a butterfly.
A little bit. But I made this partially as a sample to show off these 2 colorways, and partially because I am taking a trip to Orlando next month. And me and Larry are going. And we're going to go back to Universal Studio, and I'm going to go to Diagon Alley, and I'm going to wear my Ravenclaw with my Ravenclaw representation with pride. And it's going to be blue and bronze.
Sport the house colors.
And not blue and silver.
Because Robin is a purist, and we always go by the book, not the movie.
I have some feelings about that. I've talked about it before, so I'm not going to bore y'all, but blue and bronze, that's the way it goes. So, we are a house of Ravenclaws. Well, not really. You and me are Ravenclaws.
Yeah. No, we're the greatest majority in the house.
Yeah.
And then we have a Slytherin and a Gryffindor.
Yeah. I think Larry's a Gryffindor, too.
We don't have a Hufflepuff.
We don't have a Hufflepuff.
Well, Pearl.
Pearl can be a Hufflepuff.
I think Pearl's definitely a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, she would have her house near the kitchens, for sure.
Not sure about Whiskers.
Whiskers is Gryffindor and Cereza Slytherin.
Cereza is very Slytherin.
Listen. If you're a Harry Potter fan and you haven't decided what houses your animals are in, like your cats and dogs,
you need to get on that.
Yeah, you need to get on that. You need to know. Yeah, it's important. It's important information to decide.
That's why Seth and Cereza are so close.
Yeah, definitely. So that is my third finished object, can't count. And I'm really happy with it.
I think it looks great.
I love the depth of color that the silk gives. So, very happy with it.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Good marriage of pattern and yarn.
Definitely. Stephen West patterns are fantastic. He's the man. So that's how it is.
So what are you working on?
I'm working on some things. And I just realized.
Didn't put all the things on there? Or you started a new thing?
I didn't bring that one with me, but that's okay. We're going to do it later.
Oh, okay.
Larry's
socks?
Yeah. Larry's socks are the ones I'm doing for the Sock and Space KAL. And they don't look the same as they did last week. They look a little bit longer, but they're just vanilla socks.
So if you really want to know what they look like, watch
last week and add about 4 inches of
watch the
stockinette.
previous podcast.
So I have 3 new cast-ons this week to show you guys. So
yeah, you do. You cast off 4. No, you cast off 3.
And I cast on
and
3.
You cast on 3.
What? So I'm going to go with this one first. This is what I'm making to bring on our trip that we're leaving on soon. And it's going to be cold. So I didn't realize until like recently that it's hard to wear shawls whenever you're wearing a coat. So I cast on a 3-color cashmere cowl. So that's how much I have so far. And our local yarn store, the one in Baton Rouge, is actually going out of business.
Which is sad.
Yeah, so we went with a friend of ours to their going out of business sale. Everything was 30% off. So we got some awesome yarn and some needles. So that's what these are. They're the Luca needles. It's what the pattern calls for. I think it's 2.5. Yeah, US 2.5, 3 millimeter, and they're 24 inches. And I was actually worried in the beginning because I cast on for what the pattern requires, and I was having to fight to get them around. And I know once you do the first couple rounds, it gets easier, but I went ahead and cast on an additional 24. So it's going to be a little bit bigger than the one that Joji Locatelli, the sample one. But that's okay.
If you're happy with it.
Yeah. So the yarn is Ink and Spice by Plymouth Yarn. It's 45% extra fine merino, 25% baby alpaca, 15% mulberry silk, and 15% yak. So there's the label. And the light gray, let's see. The light gray is natural. The dark gray is slate. And then my contrast color is this color, which is just green. So it's got a beautiful halo to it. Look at that.
Must be the yak.
Must be, or the alpaca.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the alpaca. I was thinking.
Yeah, it does have alpaca in it, right? It did say alpaca.
I think so.
25% alpaca. So it's super soft, and it's going to be really warm. And we leave in less than 36 hours. So once I get the rest of my packages out, I'm doing this like I'm marathoning this to see if I can finish it. I'm gonna do a chunk tonight. I'm gonna stay up late tonight and finish it and work on it. I'm not gonna finish it tonight. But I did. The yarn is I think the sample. No, I think I have the right amount of yarn, but because I increased the amount of stitches for this section, I did 1 less row between each eyelet row. So I'm hoping that makes up for having more stitches. I don't want to run out of yarn. But if I do, I'm sure there's a section I can cut out. So we'll see.
Yeah, or just make a section shorter like you've done before.
Yeah, so I'm really
be okay.
Yeah, it's a really enjoyable knit. I like the yarn. It is a single. I don't know if you all can see that. But
it's even better.
I love singles. I have a thing for singles. A thing for singles. That could be our episode title. Maybe. We'll see. We always have a hard time coming up with episode titles. I don't know if anybody really cares if the episodes are titled as opposed to just like episode, 70, whatever. But
that gives you a little insight on what you might hear about.
Yeah. So that is my first whip. Should I go again?
Sure.
Okay. I just started knitting, so I'll have to put it that away. Oh, and the bag is from Plank and Stella. And it's this Rifle Paper Company fabric that I love. Plank and Stella. Very cute. I got it in a swap.
It is cute.
So my next work in progress is what I have cast on to bring with me on the trip. So,
piece of fuzz.
Yeah, that's a really fuzzy yarn. This is the Patronus shawl by Madeline. Let's see, where it at? Madeline Windsor. And I'm knitting this out of 2 of my own colorways. This was the November Mystery colorway. I think everybody's gotten theirs. I showed it in the last episode. This is the Night Bus. And this is Magical Me.
So you can see them together?
Yes. And it's a little bit of a purplier batch of Magical Me. I pulled it aside because it didn't quite look like the others. But I might reformulate it to look like this because I kind of love it. So we'll see. But this is how it's knitting up. I don't have a ton done on it yet because I'm saving it for the plane ride. But that's how it's knitting up. And it looks like a thong. Like they say how the Find Your Fade starts out, which always cracks me up. But I really like the center stitches. Like that center stitch just seems like really defined and everything.
Oh yeah, nice ridge.
Yeah, so I'm knitting these on the Luca needles because I'm obsessed. I know a lot of y'all are asking for them for Christmas, and I've decided that's what I'm going to ask for Christmas too. So these are size 5s, and I love this Progress Keeper. And I wish I could remember where I got it from, but the little tag that I have doesn't have the maker's address information on it. Yeah, so if you're a stitch marker maker, like make sure to put your information on there because I kind of want to order some more. I really like them.
You can't look through.
I have to look through my Etsy purchases, but I just don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, you could look through your purchases.
Yeah, so that's what I have so far. I'm holding off on working on it anymore, but I'm really enjoying it. So
I like it.
Yeah,
looks
really
good so far. I can't wait to see this color
the purple.
come in and what it's gonna look like.
Yeah, some of the projects on the page have a really subtle transition of color. I want to say Nora George did kits for them, and like they were really subtle and they were really gorgeous. So that's kind of what I was going for, but I don't really do subtle that well. I don't know if y'all have noticed. So that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm like 2 purples.
That's your
purple blue and a purple pink is kind of.
That's your version of
yeah,
subtle.
Yeah.
That's a plan.
You got a work in progress?
Sure. I can show, since you showed what you're taking on the trip, I'll show what I am taking on the trip. So I started working on the Winter Companion Cowl by Galzine Knits. This is a pattern that was in the Indie Gift Along.
Was the little cowl the other one? Was that one of them? Hilary Smith Cowls?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, this is a cowl that is knit in sections, and then I need, so I've knit part of it, and then I need to pick up stitches on one of the ends, and then I start knitting the other direction. This part is knit this way, and then the rest of it goes this way, and then I have to seam the 2 ends together.
I'm really interested to see how it's going to turn out.
Yeah, the next section is a mosaic section, and we'll have some color work done in mosaic.
Look at that waffle stitch.
Yeah, it's a really nice rib pattern right in here that I really like the look of it. It's really a nice pattern, and it looks nice with the garter that's in there. The yarn that I'm using is Cascade 220 Superwash Merino. I picked up some of this at the sale at Knits by Nana. They're going out of business sale. And then I ordered 2 extra skeins from Webb's because I wanted to make sure I had enough. The original cowl calls for 4 colors, but you know me, I like to have a nice good LSU project. And I'm thinking that this would be nice and fun to wear when we go to some early baseball games. And I think they start their season as early as the end of February. So sometimes it's a little chilly sitting out in the outfield. And I think this will work out well to take to the game. So this is what I'm taking on the trip whenever we head out where we're going. And so, yeah, that's one of my works in progress. I still haven't picked up the stitches. It's been cast off for days.
Are you going to do that before we leave? Because that seems like that'd be a pain to do.
No, yes, I'm definitely doing that either tonight or tomorrow. Because, no, I am not doing that on a plane.
Yeah.
So, not happening.
Yeah. So I have one last work in progress I'm going to show y'all today. This is, again, my own yarn, because apparently that's one of my New Year's resolutions. One of my New Year's resolutions this year was to knit with my yarn more, and I think I've overdone it, because I think 2/3 of what I've made, or 3/4, has been my own yarn, and I haven't put a dent in my stash at all.
But the reason you're doing it, though, is for shop samples. And because you started doing shows this year, continuing into next year, you need to have shop samples because people will come up to you and have come up to you to say, how does this knit up?
Yeah.
And so that's really why you're doing it, not because you think your yarn is better than anybody else's yarn, but because people see it in a skein and want to know, what is this going to look like?
Yeah, that's the point of it, but I feel like I haven't knit with my stash hardly at all.
Well,
and I need more of a happy medium.
That can be one of your resolutions for next year, because we'll be talking about that. I don't know if it's the next podcast or the one after.
That'd be the next one. 2 weeks from today would be the 8. Nope, I can't do math. The 2 weeks from today would be Christmas, right?
Oh, I don't do math. But anyway, it's coming. So how about that?
Yeah, probably next episode we'll talk about resolutions and we'll talk about our year-end recap like we did last year. So anyway, this is my yarn Teenybutton Studio Soft Sock, which is actually my favorite base, I think. Just very multi-purpose. You can do anything with it, basically. This is the God Rest Ye Merry Hippogriffs colorway, which is based off of the song that Sirius Black sings in Order of the Phoenix, which I just finished, and I thought that was really cute, because Sirius is my favorite character. No, Luna's my favorite character. But Sirius and Lupin are like 2 and 3. So I wanted to pay an homage to him for Christmas. So I cast on a sock. Right now it's a vanilla sock, but I think I'm going to end up doing the Fraser Fur. Yeah, Fraser Fur socks by Verena Kors, who is the Wool Club. So that's how it knits up. It's nice and speckly. And I just cast on 24 and I increased to 68. And on a size US 1. And these are on my Chiaogus, which I think match my yarn because they've got the red cord. So not a whole lot to say about these. They're just vanilla socks right now, but I do have my little Sucre Sucre hot chocolate. How cute is that? There we go. Super cute. So you know how I like to match.
You do. You're matching.
So that is all I have to show for this. It's kind of boring, but you know.
Nothing wrong with vanilla socks. I'm all about vanilla.
Eventually it'll have little twisted stitch fur trees at the top, which will be super cute.
See what's good about vanilla? It's like vanilla ice cream. You add things to it.
Yeah.
It's versatile.
Yeah, it's interesting. The pattern calls for a gusset and heel flap, which I have done once before, so I'm kind of feeling like I'll try it, you know?
Sure. If the directions are good, I'll try anything.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years, and I do really like how the Fish Lips Kiss heel fits my foot, so that's usually what I do. But I could try something a little different.
Yeah, mix it up.
Yeah, the only thing is I'd have to measure and like bring a tape measure and, you know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what gets done.
Yeah.
But you got one more work in progress?
Yep. Speaking of mixing it up, I am continuing to work on my free shawl. So this is how it's going. See, so here we go. So this is how it's going. Reason why I said speaking of mixing it up, the pattern actually reads that you do the whole shawl in this color work. It's a mosaic color work with slip stitches, but I thought it might just be an awful lot of color, like a little busier than I wanted. So I decided to do some sections of the same pattern, but doing it in a solid, which is the cream in this case. So you can still see the pattern. So
it's just like a nice texture pattern.
Yeah, so it does. It makes a really nice texture pattern, which you don't see as much here, because if you're looking at this now, like I'm looking at the monitor, this, you can't tell this has a texture, but this is the texture.
It's the same stitch.
Yeah, but you don't really see it. So I kind of like the fact that I am adding this in. It's some visual interest and in bringing out the texture. So
free shawl, who's it by?
It's a free shawl by Lisa Hannes. You know I am a huge fan of hers. So so it's just, something that I'm kind of making up as I'm going. I'm doing so many repeats, of each section that I'm just kind of winging it until it gets to the length that it needs to be, and then I will cast it off. But I'm very much enjoying this pattern. Like I said, I love the patterns that you can use a highly variegated yarn. Let me get the yarn out. The yarn is Robin's yarn. This is Teenybutton Studio Lush, because it's a cashmere base, in the Bear, and then the Other color is Teenybutton Studio. I'm drawing a blank.
Unicorns in my coffee.
Unicorns in my coffee.
It's
Thank
a unicorn
you.
frappuccino colorway.
Yes, and I very much love these colors. I love teal, I love purple, and I love fuchsia. So these are colors that I normally just really enjoy looking at. So to have all three in this, I really knew I wanted to have this someday, but I couldn't think of a way that I could put it into a shawl without it just kind of being
Crazy.
Too much.
Yeah.
You know, whereas this, what I like about the way that this mosaic is done is it breaks it up and makes it interesting look and an interesting texture at the same time. So this has been a really good pattern. I'm happy with it. So, but I'm not taking this on the trip.
Yeah, it's a little complicated.
Well, it's not complicated, but it is something you need to pay attention to. It's not as easy as the Crossfire, which is an absolutely great pattern for doing a similar thing where you take a really vibrant variegated yarn and mix it with a solid. That one, the Crossfire, you can do without really thinking, but this one you do need to pay some attention.
It's on my to-knit list.
It was on sale for the gift along.
Yeah, but I didn't get it because I'm cheap. I really don't buy patterns until I'm ready to knit them.
See, and I don't. If I see something I know I'm going to knit someday, I still go ahead and buy it.
So you ready to throw me something, Mister?
Sure, we can do that.
So we have some stash for this week.
Oh, I forgot.
You want me to pause it?
It's right there. I can reach over and get it.
So I'll go first.
Sure.
This is something I ordered a while ago, and I'd actually forgotten about it. London House Yarns, she did pre-orders for some of her Christmas colorways. And Christmas at number 12, Grimwald Place, I think it's just Christmas at Grimwald Place, is on my bucket list. It's on my bucket list yarns. By the time I realized that she was doing pre-orders, she was sold out of pre-orders for that one. So I got this one instead. This is her Yule Ball colorway, which is the colored skein, and I'm not sure what the black is, just like a black for heels and toes. And this is in her 80/20 superwash merino and nylon base, and it is a self-striping yarn. There's somebody on Instagram I follow who's knitting a pair of these, and I can't remember who it is, but they're gorgeous, like it's amazing. And it's inspired by the Yule Ball scene from the Goblet of Fire, and it's inspired by everybody's outfits. So there's the green. For, who wears green? Victor Crumb wears red. Hermione wears pink in the movie, but she wears blue in the book. But I guess I can forgive that for right now. And Ron has the dress robes. I can't remember what color they are in the movie. But if I rewatch the scene, I don't really watch the movies that often. Because
I told you, she's a purist.
Because of reasons. I didn't watch the last movie. I held out for a year or two after it came out because I didn't want it to ruin my vision of the ending in my mind. But yeah, it's beautiful. Piece of work. It's beautiful, and very Christmassy.
Yep.
So I think this is going to be my Christmas Eve cast on. So I'm going to try to finish another pair of socks by then. I know I'm going to finish Larry's. I almost said Harry. I'm going to finish Larry's socks by Christmas because those are his Christmas present. Harry. It cracks me up. So I'll have a free sock needle for sure by then to cast these on. So,
it's a plan.
Christmas Eve cast on. Yeah. Who does that? Is that Little Bobbins who hosts that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did last year and it was fun. So it's just like an Instagram. People have asked me if it was like a real knit along. I think it's just an Instagram thing.
Yeah.
Like you just talk about, like show pictures and talk about what you're casting on.
Yeah.
So I just thought that'd be fun.
I think that's a good choice.
Yes. So it was not cheap to get this shipped from England. But like we said before, I definitely think that self-striping yarns are worth every penny that you pay for them.
Absolutely. They are so labor intensive.
Yeah, especially, in the international shipping. So
as I look down at my Kama Sutra socks.
Yeah. So that is my first throw me something, mister, throwing at me from across the pond. And it came with one of those Biscoff cookies.
Ah.
So that was really good. I really appreciate that. I don't add food and teas and stuff to my orders because I'm worried about allergies.
You used to add teas sometimes.
I'm really worried. I had someone say that they couldn't open it around their kid because their kid was allergic, and I'm like, I'm not gonna.
You did it very, very.
Yeah,
and you stopped doing.
That's why I don't. I know a lot of people do, but I'm just like.
You just don't know.
Yeah, but I really.
If you're doing a swap, then you can get that information.
Yeah. I like it whenever I get them, so I'm not complaining.
No,
so,
no,
exciting.
Like a good tea.
Yeah. You want to show what you got?
Sure. Robin kind of talked about it before, so did I. When we went to the going out of business sale, up at Knits by Nana, we picked up some things. I picked up a skein of this online super
You couldn't
sock.
figure out what it said.
Well, I couldn't tell if it said that was an N or a T because that's not exactly the neatest writing.
No.
It looks like Live.
Yeah, I think it's online.
Yeah, it is online. The N is kind of not all that clear.
Yeah.
But this is a self-striping yarn in purples and pinks.
It has a picture of how it's the purple one right there.
Yeah, the purple one right in front.
And that's the colorway name. We're not going to try to say it.
I sorty wrong. Sorty wrong. I picked up a skein of this, and then I picked up some Cascade Ulta Pima yarn. This is the yarn that is one of the yarns requested by Knitted Knockers, and I've got I picked up 4 different colorways, and I will continue to knit these and get these off to ladies.
Those 2 are different?
Yes.
Oh, they are. Look at that. They look similar on the other sides.
Okay. I can put them together.
There you go. Yeah, you can see they're different.
Yeah. So anyway, so I picked up these just because it was a good price, and I know I will be knitting more knockers, and that's what I picked up at Knits by Nana.
Yeah. I just thought of something to talk about at the end.
Okay. You still have more?
Oh, yeah, I have one more. Throw me something this year. So a couple of weeks ago, or it's more like a month ago or so now, the Get Your Yarny Wishes Granted hashtag was going around. And I granted a couple of wishes, mostly for people who requested my yarn specifically. I did a couple of people who requested just like speckled sock yarn. But like I get so tickled whenever somebody asks for my yarn specifically. So I granted a couple of wishes. And I wasn't going to ask for anything because there's nothing I really need. But
that doesn't mean there aren't things you want.
I figured I'd just throw it out in the universe that I wanted some Woolen Vine, because if y'all have been watching for any length of time, you know she's one of my favorite hand dyers. So there was a woman, I'm not sure if she wants me to mention her name, so I'm not going to mention her name. And she said she had this skein and she was probably never going to knit it because it wasn't her colors. And I'm like, well, I will knit it for sure.
It is totally your colors.
It's everything Kristen makes is my colors, honestly. So this is her blitzed base, and the colorway is I Am No Bird. So it's her gold stellina. Look at that. Oh my goodness.
See the sparkle
Look
on
at that. So it's grays and like mauve right there, and browns with those
almost bronzy in some
speckles.
spots.
Yeah, it's Ravenclaw. I Am No Bird. It means it refers to an eagle. It's Ravenclaw, right?
Sure.
So that is the yarn, and it's amazing. And I'm thinking a shawl, but I don't know what to pair it with. I do have a skein of Stellar Banshee I got in a D-stash. That would be a nice subtle contrast, maybe for brioche, which is funny because I have 2 other brioche projects planned with my Woolen Vine yarns that I have. But this woman was nice enough to include a postcard.
Look how cute that is.
Adorable. This one is Pearl.
She's also a Harry Potter fan.
She is a Harry Potter fan, and she wins the mini skein game because look how these are labeled. Like that's genius.
Brilliant.
That is
absolutely
genius.
Brilliant.
And I will be stealing this in the future. So these are all Harry Potter yarns. This one is Hufflepuff from Folklore Yarns. This one is Gryffindor from Folklore Yarns. This is Fizzing Whizbees from Dragon Horde. This is The Stone in the Mirror by Nora George. This one is Luna by Hand-Dyed by Kate. This one is Birdie Bots by Gnome Acres.
I love it.
This is Potion Master from Homespun House. This is Room of Requirement from Nora George. And this one is Hagrid's Pumpkin Patch from Elm Tree Yarns. And I really like
I like the Birdie Bots.
I like all of them.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
So if you were looking for a way to package mini skeins, like this is
Brilliant.
on an index card, and they're like in a grid, like genius. So she also sent me some tea and some stitch markers, which I'm not going to take out of the bag, but there's some cute ones in there. There's a Christmas tree. I'll take them out of the bag. I wasn't going to, but there is a Christmas tree. Oops, it's backwards. And a dragonfly. And one of these little socks we had, our roommate at Into the Wool, Andrea, was nice enough to get us a set of these. So
you got a set of socks.
yeah, you got the socks, and I got the socks, and you got the sheep.
Mm-hmm.
So they're very cute. They're like
They're adorable.
shrink plastic, I think.
They kind of, yeah, I'm not sure if that's what they
Yeah,
are.
but they're really lightweight.
Similar to that, and they're beautiful.
Yeah, so that was an amazing package to receive.
Yeah, you got some good tea there.
Yeah, I do. Look at all that. Tea down. So I'll pick it up later. But thank you. If you're watching, you know who you are. Super, super generous. And I've been meaning to post on Instagram. I have it in my, drafts saved, ready to go, but I just keep forgetting to post it. So, thank you again. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're going to get that one?
Okay, yeah. So, this is going to be coveted and hoarded. It matches my sweater. It's a sign. I love it so much. I really love it. Yay. I love Wool and Vine. So, that was awesome. So, what you got?
I have some Teenybutton studio yarn. I have started working for yarn.
We'll work for yarn.
Robin has some things that she needs done to help take care of the business, and I'm helping her with it. And
mostly winding mini skeins.
Getting paid in yarn.
Yeah.
So this is Pretty Floral Bonnet, and I have been eyeballing this color for a while, and she had one in the shop that had not sold, and I snatched it up and said, "You will be mine," and now it is.
Yeah, you went in and you shopped, because I have it all laid out on the grid wall, and so it's like a shopping experience right in your own house.
It was nice. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, this is a really fun one. I use this for my Find Your Fade, but there's so many colors in there.
Yeah, I like all the colors.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do with it, so it'll have to sit around and marinate for a while, but I will find.
You want to do your next? Tell me something?
Yeah, this one, but I got to reach over.
Oh, okay, go reach it.
So I'm going to reach over here and get it.
Okay. I haven't seen it yet. I saw a little flash of it, but I'm excited to see.
So, the ladies who were the hosts of the Into the Wool retreat decided to have an after the Into the Wool retreat swap, and I signed up for it. It was a swap for mini skeins, but you could also choose to swap a little more if you and your swap partner decided to do so. And I was paired with the wonderful Tiffany, the project bag. She was actually one of the hosts of the retreat. And this is my swap package from her. She is a bag maker. So I received a bag, and she knows that I love elephants. I've collected elephants since I was 14. So this is one of my elephants.
It's applique?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my goodness.
And I love how she does her handles. Look how cool this is. It has a zipper.
Oh, that's genius.
That you can open and close on the handle. I've never seen that before, and I thought this was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, let's show the elephant close up.
Yay, I love hands.
Look how cute she is. Quilted, too. Oh, no, that's just the fabric, but still gorgeous.
I was excited.
It's the perfect sock size.
Very much excited. She sent me some stitch markers, and again, there's a little elephant progress keeper right here.
Oh my God, there's a lot of stuff in there.
I know. It was supposed to. We had a limit. I think Tiffany went over the limit of what we agreed to, but you know what? I'm so thrilled with everything.
It's fun to spoil your swap partner.
Absolutely. So look how beautiful this little basket is. It's a little fabric basket that's coiled and then sewn. Isn't that amazing?
Wow. She made that?
I don't know. I think it's beautiful.
Wow.
Okay, I think this one in there.
That goes in there?
Yeah. And then she knew that I love tea, so she sent me a bunch of different teas. She knows me well. She sent some M&Ms. And
the peanut butter M&Ms are what the big ticket item was in Into the Wool.
Oh my God! Well, that's my, I guess, kryptonite. Yeah. I cannot. Well, no, kryptonite's a bad thing. These are anti-kryptonite peanut butter M&Ms because I cannot resist them.
These are what flavor are these?
They're double chocolate. Have you ever heard of double chocolate?
White chocolate and dark chocolate.
Yeah, that's a new flavor. Never tried it.
Fancy.
And I held off on eating these things until I shoved them.
You've had them a couple of weeks.
I know.
That's some self-control.
So she sent me some Purls. I think that's how you say it. Those are yummy. And she also sent me this cute little canvas that has a nice little saying on it, which I think is something we should all do. I like what it says.
You gonna put it on your gallery wall?
I don't know. And then the coup de grace is all of my minis. So it was a 10 skein, 10 gram mini swap. And she labeled each one, and they're all absolutely beautiful. That one is
Skein Yarns, Top Draw Sock, and Out Yonder.
And this is Unwind Yarn Company, Rendezvous Sports Sock in Feel All Right. Look how pretty that is.
This one is Twist Fiber Studio in Andromeda. That would be good for the socks and Space KAL.
And this is Regia in Candy Color.
I'm trying to take one of your hand without.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This one is Unwind Yarn Company in Feria de Valencia. We're not good at pronouncing stuff. You know that. Gorgeous.
This one is Monterey hand-dyed, and the colorway is University of Maryland. And I don't know if Tiffany went to University of Maryland. I know she lives in Maryland. I love those colors.
This one is Knit Picks Bare Stroll Glimmer.
I have never tried that.
She dyed this herself with Kool-Aid.
Oh, how cool!
Yeah.
I was going to say, I never recognized that color.
Yeah.
But you did say it was bare.
Yeah.
Desert Vista Dye Works Zen in color accents lavender.
Ooh.
So there's that one.
This one's Kirby Werby Kaleidoscope in Drunk on a Plane.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fun one.
And the last one is Unwind Yarn Company, Rendezvous Sports Sock. And it is it
Born to Shine?
Is that an I?
I think so.
An O?
I think so. Born to Shine.
Okay, and Born to Shine. Look how pretty that is. So I was very much spoiled by Tiffany. Thank you very much, Tiffany. I know I've already thanked you privately, but I am thanking you again, and I'm assuming you don't mind me showing this on the podcast because I've did it.
Did you show this one?
Yeah.
Unwind and Feel All Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. It's cute.
I know, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I was very much spoiled and very excited when this came.
Yeah.
Yeah, my package to her took forever. Like, I mailed it, and it took 3.5 to 4 days to go from here to New Orleans, which is 45 minutes. I was like, what?
Not even that, to get to the New Orleans post office.
Well, I don't know which post office it was, so that's
well, like the processing center is a lot closer. It's not a lot closer, but that's ridiculous.
I don't know. Not going there. But anyway, I love it. I'm happy to get it. Thrilled.
Yes.
So
We got some good packages this week.
Yes, we did. Or since last podcast. So anything else?
Just our question.
Okay, so we're moving into the lanyard section. And as Robin talked about earlier, we had snow last Friday, which was real exciting. They actually had the forethought of mine to cancel school in anticipation of snow.
Last time it snowed, I was in school all day. It's tragic.
Last time it snowed, they didn't cancel school, and you were at school in the snow, but you had a really good time. I remember you telling me you had a really good time because nobody did anything because people were getting checked out all day long.
Yeah, they were calling the kids out all day.
And people were allowed to use their phones at school, which they're not allowed to use normally. And you had all these pictures of you and your teachers and you and your friends playing in the snow.
Yeah, I was 16, so.
Yeah.
My memory's not that great. I kind of like blacked out a lot of high school. But I think I still have some of those pictures.
Yeah, I remember the one of you and Mr. Townsend in the snow. And they had a great time, and she was mad at me for not coming to pick her up. But I knew that you were going to have a good time. And it was just, the roads were crazy. What happens is that people do not know how to drive in the snow here. So when Philip left for work on on Friday, there was someone who flipped over on the causeway. All right, he crosses the causeway every day to go into New Orleans.
It's the longest bridge over water in the world.
And people drive like idiots.
Yeah, they drive like slow. They drive like maniacs. And then whenever they come to like the police, like the crossing,
then everybody hits the brakes.
Yeah,
and they'll drive on. Okay, so it's a 2-lane. There's 2 spans. Each one's 2 lanes, and people are on their phone. They are
doing
texting,
their makeup.
They're putting their makeup on. They're eating and drinking. It's nuts. So there have been a lot of people that have gone over the bridge, and they are going to be working on raising the railings on one of the spans next year. The other span was built with higher sides. But that's how crazy things were. So that's kind of why I didn't go pick you up that day.
Yeah.
Because people do not know how to drive in the snow, and I figured you would end up having a good time. So, and then you told me the line in the office was crazy. So, I mean, I could stand in line for 2 hours and school's out and you're on the bus, you know? So, Anyway, it was fun. Y'all had a great time.
This time was better though.
Yeah, well, we had more snow this time.
Yeah.
And so you actually got to make.
What did they say? 6 inches in Hammond?
Yeah, Hammond, which is about 30 minutes or so from here, got 6 inches.
Yeah.
I don't think we got quite 6, but it was nice, and it's hung around for a lot of the next day. And
I went to Larry's house on Saturday, and there was still enough snow for us to make a snowman and for me to beat him in the head with snow.
Yeah.
I stuck snow down his shirt because he did it to me first. Because
Payback.
we're children.
Payback. Yeah. I don't know. You see people doing that all the time on movies, and you know.
Yeah.
It kind of made me sad when you kept going out and going, "Is this snow? Is this snow?" Because when I was little, I lived in a place where there was snow, and we moved from there when I was 10. So I remember what snow looks like, and it's just kind of sad.
I know what snow looks like. It was just wishful thinking.
Well, I don't know if you know how much what snowfall looks like.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows what snow looks like, but snowfall, there's not as many pictures of that kind of a thing.
So, the coming around to the question. Our question for you guys is, what is your knitting project that you reach for whenever it's really cold?
So is there something special you knit that every time it's cold, this is the thing that you put on?
Yeah. Mine were my mittens.
Yeah.
I've made gloves and I've made fingerless gloves, and I did not appreciate how much warmer mittens are until Friday whenever I was playing in the snow. Because, like, you get the insulation from, like, your fingers. You don't have them separated by the gloves. And, like, you don't really need your fingers. You can just, like, scoop. But,
see, you, though, like a shorter fingerless glove. Like, Robin likes her fingerless gloves to come to about right here.
Yeah, because I got to use my fingers.
But, see, what I like to do when I knit mine is I will knit a taller top on them and a ribbing that I can fold down. Mm-hmm. When I need to use my fingers, but whenever I don't, then I can bring it long. And I've got some fingerless gloves that come almost to the tips of my fingers.
Yeah, but like whenever they're closed at the top,
it's way more warm if it's closed for sure.
So I'm gonna bring these on our trip because it's supposed to snow on our trip. Oh, I'm so excited. So that's what I reach for.
What is what you reach for now?
Yes, now that I've made them. I do wear my Madewell cardigan. I wear that a lot.
You do?
It's not something I would wear in like the really, really cold because it is open and it's kind of like drafty, and it's actually, I've lost some weight, so it's a little bit bigger on me now, which isn't a big deal. I can layer underneath it, but it's so soft. I kind of want to wear it next to my skin. But that's probably the cardigan I reach for. If I lived somewhere warmer, if I lived somewhere cooler, it's plenty warm enough here. If I lived somewhere colder, I would make more pullovers because I have a lot of pullovers in my favorites.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I wouldn't get a whole lot of use out of them.
No, I think because of where we live, it can be cold in the morning, but then so much warmer in the afternoon. We really have to do the layering thing.
Yeah.
Because I know Sed and I went out shopping yesterday, and it was cool. You know, I think it was in the 40s when we left. But by the time we finished,
it was like in the 70s.
It was almost not in the 70s. It's in the 60s, but I was hot.
Yeah.
And so having a pullover would have been difficult. I know that you can layer a pullover, but it's I still like a cardigan in that case.
So what do you wear? What projects do you wear?
Well, we don't get an awful lot of cold, so it's mostly shawls and fingerless mitts. I love fingerless mitts. I will wear fingerless mitts lots of times whenever it's cool. I also will wear fingerless mitts. I used to do a lot of traditional scrapbooking with paper and all that kind of stuff, and we would be in a, just a big conference area, big old giant room with a ton of people, and sometimes those rooms get cold, and I have brought fingerless mitts to those events just because I get cold and sitting in one place for a while. Yeah. So fingerless mitts are the things that I probably will grab, or a shawl.
Any shawl in particular, or just whatever matches?
Just whatever kind of matches what I'm wearing. If I don't have anything that matches what I'm wearing, whatever it is that's colorful, that's kind of like striking my fancy for that day, or it's on top of the stack, and I don't have to disturb a bunch of other shawls to get to it.
Because they're all so nice and folded, and you don't want to mess with them. So
well, they're not folded; they're hanging, but still, same thing.
Oh, mine are folded.
No,
but Yeah, so tell us what you wear whenever it's cold.
Yeah, what's your favorite project to grab
whether
when you're cold?
Yeah, whether it's a particular project or just like a type of finished object. And if you want to add pictures and like show us your finished object, that'd be cool because we love pictures.
Yeah.
So that is our question for you guys this week. So I think that's all the real knitting content we have.
You said you thought of something else to talk about.
Oh, yeah. So Mardi Gras is going to be early this year. I think it's going to be the 13th of February. So were we going to do the Crew of Yarniest KAL again?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We may decide to host it with somebody as well.
Yeah, we'll have to take a think about that. But just a heads up, we're going to host it again. I figured you would say yes, so...
It was fun last year.
The rules are you have to knit with purple, green, or gold to celebrate Mardi Gras.
So it's a pretty easy knit along.
Yeah.
Because it's no specification on the
whatever you want to make
project, but there is an amount of yarn that you have to minimum amount of yarn. So it isn't like you can just I mean, the whole project has to be a certain amount of yarn. It's not like you can knit a teeny tiny little thing and say, okay, here's my entry, but it doesn't have to have an awful lot of that color. You just need to be able to see that there's purple, green, or gold in the project.
So just going to throw that out there if y'all want to start thinking about it. Would we want to host it January through half of February?
I think we usually last year we started on King's Day, which was January the 6th.
Okay. We'll take a look at that and get firm dates and see if we're going to
We will definitely have information for you next podcast.
Yes. So I'm glad I remembered that because it's coming up soon.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I didn't think about talking about this earlier. But that's a good idea because, sometimes people like to plan ahead.
Well, sometimes Mardi Gras is late. Like sometimes it's like in March.
It depends on when Easter is.
Yeah. So that is the knitting content we have for you this week. I think we're done with that. There is no shop update section this week because last Friday was the last shop update of the year. So I would show you what's still in the shop, but I'm putting the shop on hiatus until we get back from our trip. So if I show you what's in the shop and then you can't buy it, that would kind of stink. So,
but just keep checking back, and the shop will come back open, and you can pick things up. But I don't think there's going to be enough time to get anything before Christmas.
No, definitely not. But I will have the Harry Potter clubs. I'll leave those up. I'll deactivate everything else, but I'll just leave the Harry Potter clubs because those are a pre-order, so you can buy them, whenever. The Harry Potter clubs for December, half of them went out today and half of them are going out tomorrow. I just need to finish packaging. Our printer is
giving us trouble.
The printer does not want to print on the sticker paper, which is how I print my labels. I've actually ordered a label printer that should be here while we're out of town. So a little too late to do anything now, but I have to feed the paper in individually. And whenever I'm labeling 85 packages, like one at a time
takes a while.
Yeah. So I've been doing it since like Friday. I've been working on it. And then not only that, but like I include a card in each Harry Potter club where I talk about the colorway and I give a book quote. And so I print those on sticker paper, and I print my labels on sticker paper, and I print the little stickers that like which month the colorway is. I print those on sticker paper.
There's a lot of sticker paper.
So and we had an issue with the other printer where the sticker paper got stuck in it
and broke the printer.
So it's been a month for printers. So I'm gonna be happy whenever the label printer gets here.
Me too.
But if you order the Harry Potter Club for December, it will be out by tomorrow, which will be Tuesday the 12th. The post office guy today. What did he say whenever we walked in? Oh, we had a handful of packages, and I said, well, I have a scan form for some of them. He goes, good. If you didn't, I would scream. I'm like, oh, that's kind of...
Well, it was kind of weird because what you had a scan form for was maybe a third of what you were bringing in. So the bigger, the bag that I was holding that had like 2/3 did not have a scan form. But he's funny. It's like when you tell him, I wished I could have printed a scan form, but it was like, give me the prompt. Then he's like real nice about, it's no big deal. We can get this done. And he was very nice after we've talked about
this before. Like, and he made some comment like, the more packages you send, the more hours we get, the more work we have. And I'm like, that's good. Y'all getting paid. But he seems like he's upset whenever I come in. And,
I don't know. Some people just like to complain, I think.
I don't know. I'm grateful for them because they do their job and it gets packages out and it's relatively easy for me to print them off.
Office. Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, so Don't want to complain too much.
He's a character.
I just don't like causing more work for people.
No, and you would love to print the scan form if you could, but I mean, you can't. It's not something you can manually create yourself. It's something that Etsy generates, and sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't.
Well, you can go through and you can. We've talked about this before, so if you've heard this before, you know. I'm sorry, but you can go through and you can select shipping labels to add to a scan form, but some of them you can add and some of them you can't.
Yeah, you don't always have the option.
And I thought for a long time it's because the older ones, like the orders that were placed a while ago, you can't add to the scan form, and the newer ones you can, but that's not the case. So like half the Harry Potter clubs or a third of the Harry Potter clubs could go on a scan form, but a third of them couldn't. And I don't know why.
There's no rime or reason.
Yeah.
You'd have no way of knowing what the parameters are that it chooses.
If anybody knows how that works with Etsy specifically, please let me know if there's something I can do to like make sure that most of them get on a scan form.
Because you would love to be able to do that if you could.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the post office rant.
Little tangent there.
Yeah. So Harry Potter clubs are going out. The January clubs are up. I will not be offering a 3 or 6 month subscription like I have in the past. I offered a 3-month back in October. And the reason is because Etsy is not really friendly to that sort of listing type. I have to go in and manually print them one by one every month. And I'm very worried about missing somebody or forgetting somebody because it won't let me select all of the 3 months or all of the 6 months or whatever. I have to do it one by one. So that is why I'm not, unfortunately, going to be able to offer a 3-month subscription. I know a lot of people wanted it, and I'm really sorry. I am looking to move off of Etsy. I'm kind of weighing my options. That'll be something I'll consider in the new year. So if that happens, I'll be able to offer a subscription, either maybe something that charges monthly or something that does 3 months or 6 months or a year or whatever. Just, I know that's a lot more convenient for people than having to order it every month.
Yeah.
So that's something I am looking into. But for right now, unfortunately, I can't do a 3 months. So I'm really sorry. But other than that, I think that's all we have. Okay, is that it?
I think so.
That's it. All right, so we will see y'all in 2 weeks.
Not sure what the date of that is, but in 2 weeks.
Let me look. It'll probably be, if Christmas is on a Monday.
It is.
We'll probably just go back to Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, so it'll be right before Christmas. Maybe the 22nd, 23rd?
I don't think so. That'd be next week.
Oh, right before New Year's.
Yeah, right before New Year's. So we'll do our breakdown and all that kind of cool stuff. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
But we will see y'all then.
That's a plan.
Happy knitting, guys.
Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Bye, everyone.